Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match build-up and opposition preview for Arsenal's trip to the Etihad Stadium. Used to be called City of Manchester Stadium, used to be called the Main Road. I used to enjoy those days, but these days at the Etihad Stadium, I've never really enjoyed them. And this is like the fifth opposition preview we're doing with Alex from Manchester City Match Days, and we've not won any of those games. So I'm pretty sure he's looking forward to this game more than I am. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Very positive after last week. How are you doing?
Okay after yesterday, but before that, if you did this preview 2 days ago, it would have been okay. The season has been tough for us, especially in the Premier League, so it was good to get a win. We might not get another win for another couple of months, you never know. So we are here to talk about City, though we are not here to talk about Arsenal. We'll talk about Arsenal a bit at the end. So let's start with your season so far. Obviously, you played against Tottenham in the first game of the season. What did you make of that game? Were you disappointed how it turned out? Did you actually think you played well? Were you unlucky?
I was disappointed. Yeah, I think you always want to get off to a good start of the season. We have done quite a lot recently, and this was the first time we'd lost on the first day in like 9 or 10 years. But yeah, we started well, but the end of the game was bad. I think Tottenham did deserve the win overall. We lacked a striker. The talk is we could be getting in a striker fairly soon. But yeah, I feel like the strike was a big miss in that game. But yeah, it wasn't a great performance.
Speaking of strikers, obviously Kane is now staying at Tottenham. Any strikers that you personally have in mind that you'd want? Lewandowski, Ronaldo, Aubameyang, any of those strikers that you personally want more?
I'd call out Ronaldo, to be honest. I think 25 million for a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, I think it's definitely worth for two or so years. The talk is that could be happen the next few days, but yeah, I think Ronaldo's the one I'd quite like.
And what if you don't buy a striker? Do you think you have enough to win the title again?
I think the likes of Torres, the likes of Sterling, although they're not great, I think they'll fill in. We won the league last year without a striker, really. I know we had Aguero, but he didn't really play at all. He only got like 3 or 4 goals all season. So I do think we will be okay without one, although it will be much harder. I think the likes of Chelsea now, they've got Lukaku in. Liverpool going to be back stronger. United looking decent. So it's going to be difficult. But yeah, even without a striker, I do think we've got a decent chance of winning the league again this year.
Okay, so you lost to Tottenham, but in the next game you're playing at home to Norwich, and I predicted a 5-0, and it ended 5-0. Did you expect more goals? Were you okay with that kind of victory, or did you expect it to be a bit tighter for you?
I expected to beat them by 3 or 4, so 5 was obviously a benefit. I thought we played really well, though. Everyone was good. Gigi's out on that right wing for the first time. He looked very good there. The talk is, I think Pep's confirmed that him and Laporte are both going to start on Saturday, so it's good to see them getting form going, and yeah, just getting those goals and drop out is always a positive.
Yeah, what have you made of, speaking of Pep, what have you made of what I think he said, the rumors that have come out that he's going to leave by the end of the next season? Do you think it's going to affect the players and fans and stuff?
I don't think it'll affect anyone particularly while he's here. I don't think Pep would let the standards drop. But yeah, it's obviously a massive disappointment. He's, in my opinion, the greatest manager in the world by a decent way. But yeah, it's also going to be disappointing when he does leave. But it was inevitable. He had to end sooner at some point. So yeah, we still got 2 more years, so we just need to enjoy it while it lasts, I guess.
Okay, so 2021 season was a very successful season for you. We are now into the 2021-2022 season. Last season, players like De Bruyne stood out as usual. And the last part of the season, we were all focusing on Aguero's last few games. Ruben Diaz was incredible last season. So this season, who do you think will be your standout player?
I'd say it's a very difficult one, actually. I'd like to think Phil Foden can have another brilliant year. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne will have much of an impact because he's injured quite at the moment. So I'm not sure if he's going to be filled with injuries all season. But I'd probably go with Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden will have a mega year for us this year. I think Jack Grealish could also play a really important part in our team.
Okay, so that's the first 2 fixtures and your important players. The next part of the video is your next 5 fixtures. I was just looking at your fixtures, and man, you have some really tough fixtures. The next 5 fixtures, you have Arsenal at home, you'll have Leicester away from home, and then you'll have to play Southampton at the Etihad, Chelsea away, and Liverpool away. People would say Liverpool and Chelsea are basically 2 of your title contenders this season, title rivals, and Leicester obviously always give you a game. Arsenal not quite much, but last season he managed to give you 2 good games, 1-0 victories for you guys. Southampton, I remember 2 seasons ago you had to score very late on in the game with Sterling's goal to beat them. So from these 5 fixtures, 15 points available, how many would you be happy with?
Based, we've got Liverpool and Chelsea. To be fair, we've got 3 of the big 6 and Leicester. It depends. I don't know what you class as the big 6 these days, but yeah, maybe 10 points, 9 points. I think would be decent from those games. Obviously, Liverpool got Chelsea this weekend as well, so we could do with both those teams dropping points. But I think 9 or 10 points. I think would be decent from those games.
So I'm assuming that's you're expecting a win against Arsenal, a win against Southampton, and probably a win against Leicester. And then which one do you expect to give you a harder game, Chelsea or Liverpool?
I think we've got a better chance against Chelsea because although we did beat them last year at Anfield, we've not won at Anfield in front of fans in like 17 years. This year, last season was the first time in my lifetime we'd ever won at Anfield. So I'm expecting to probably lose at Anfield and then maybe get a point or so at Stamford Bridge.
Funny enough, I think all these 5 fixtures, you actually won them last season. You had a very big victory at Anfield. You beat Chelsea. I remember Gundogan was superb in that game. You beat Southampton. You beat Leicester. I think Mendy or something scored in that game. And obviously you beat Arsenal. So, okay, 10 points I think would be okay. Do you think 10 points would put you in the top of the table, or do you think United or Chelsea would still be ahead of you?
I think that puts us a bit behind, although I think as long as we're within 5 points for the top, after that period, I think we'll be all right because we'll have already got out of the way by that point. Arsenal, Leicester, Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool. And so I think being within 5 points at the top would be a good point to be at that point in the season. Okay,
I actually think you'll get maybe... I think you're capable of obviously getting 3 wins and maybe a draw, maybe 1 defeat there. The previous seasons you started a bit poor. I think you've been like, there's a time you're like 12th last season. So I wouldn't be surprised if you like maybe drew with Leicester and then went on to beat Chelsea and Liverpool. We have to wait and see. So those are the City's next 5 fixtures. Very, very tough fixtures. And players like Foden are still injured. Do you think you miss him?
I do think he obviously is a big loss. I think he's a great player. He should be back for the Leicester game and onwards. So it's just the Arsenal game that he does miss. But I think against Arsenal should be good enough even without him, with the likes of Grealish available, Jesus, Torres. We've got enough players. Our squad is strong enough to cope without players like De Bruyne and Foden, in my opinion.
Okay, so before we get into your preferred lineup for the weekend, let me ask you, who do you think is your best left back at the moment?
I personally would say Zinchenko. I think Mendy's been absolutely shocking when he's played against Tottenham. He pretty much gave them their goal. He was at fault for pretty much every chance that they had. And Cancelo, I think he's all right. I don't think he's very good at defending. So personally, I'd go Zinchenko at left back.
That was going to be my next question. What about the right back, Cancelo or Walker?
I prefer Walker. I think Walker's probably the best right back in world football. I think he's very underrated. And like I said, I like Cancelo, but I just don't think he can quite defend very well. And with Aubameyang potentially playing on that left-hand side, or Saka or whoever, I do think it's important you've got a right back, who can defend.
Okay, and centre back, obviously Laporte had a very good game in terms of FPL. He picked up 14 points. By the way, if you want to join the FPL for this channel, the link will be in the description. He picked up 14 points. So do you think he's overtaken Stones a bit, or do you think Stones is right back in when he's fully fit?
I think it's whoever plays well deserves to keep the place. But I don't see Laporte getting taken on the team anytime soon. Pep did confirm on his post-match press conference that Laporte will start on Saturday, so we know that's a fact. And I imagine it'll be Diaz that plays alongside him.
Okay, and then last question before we get into your predicted lineup or preferred lineup. What about in midfield when everyone is fully fit, when Foden is back, when KDB is back? Who would you play? Who would you leave out?
In defensive midfield, it's normally very difficult because I see Fernandinho and Rodri both good. They're for different things. But right now, it seems to be that Fernandinho is the favourite, although Rodri was very good on Saturday against Norwich. And then when everyone's fit in the middle of the park, I'd probably play with De Bruyne and Grealish in the middle, and then I'd have Foden out wide instead.
Foden on one side. What about Mahrez?
Yeah, so I'd probably have Foden on the left-hand side, and then maybe Mahrez on the right-hand side, and then I'd have Sterling and stuff on the bench.
Okay, that means Jesus as a striker, or do you actually imagine by a striker?
If we sign a striker, obviously a striker up front, but I personally prefer Torres up front to Jesus. I think he's more suited to the number 9 role.
Okay, so Manchester City against Arsenal this weekend. It will be played in the stadium right behind us at the Etihad Stadium. A stadium where I think 2 seasons ago you went the entire season unbeaten. I think it's only United that have managed to beat you there a couple of times. You always have a very good record. So what are you expecting from this weekend, and what would be a preferred lineup for City?
So my third lineup, I'd go Edison in goal, obviously, and then I'd go Walker, Diaz, Laporte, and Zinchenko. I think I'd go Fernandinho because he offers a little bit more pace than Rodri does. And then I'd go Jesus on the right-hand side. I'd go Grealish and Gundogan in the middle. Well, no, I'd go Jesus on the left-hand side, Mars on the right, and then I'll go Torres through the middle.
That's they're very strong. Grealish and Gundogan both really attacking. So KDB, I think, will miss out from the game. I think he's still injured. And yeah, that's a very good bench, the likes of Bernardo Silva. Speaking of Bernardo Silva, there's been rumors that could be sold. Are you one of those people who want him to be sold?
I wanted to stay. I really like Bernardo Silva. He's one of my favourite City players. But yeah, talk could be going. I hope he doesn't. I think most City fans are on the opinion that they will want him to stay. If he does go, he does go, but it needs to be for an acceptable fee. I wouldn't accept anything less than 60. The talk was AC Milan were willing to pay like 45. I think that's ridiculous. I think in the common market, he's worth at least 60.
Okay, so what about Arsenal? I remember, I think 2015 we had a masterclass of the Etihad, the likes of Cazorla playing really well, but that was the last good memory. Okay, apart from the FA Cup victories against you guys. In the league though, there was a 3-0 when Sane scored. There was another 3-0 at home when Sane scored. There was another 3-0 again in the Carabao Cup final. So many 3-0 defeats. Last season we did improve 1-0, 1-0. But although in the Carabao Cup you still beat us heavily, I think 4 goals, and that was the end of Ranasson, by the way. You killed Ranasson's career at Arsenal. That was the last time he basically played for us. So what do you think about Arsenal this season? Do you think we are really going to struggle? Are you really worried about us finishing even below the top 10, or are you looking at it like when all the players are back, we might still finish in the top 6? How are you looking at it?
I think when everyone's sort of back and fully going, I'm pretty confident you'll get top 10. I don't think there's any chance of you finishing below that. I know it's quite funny with the whole, you might get relegated and stuff, but I don't think anyone genuinely thinks that. I think you'll get top 10 fairly comfortably. I think it'll be another year about Europe though. So yeah, I think it'll be another year for mid-table mediocrity, fighting with the likes of Leeds and Villa, sort of that kind of position.
Any chance of us getting into the top 6, or do you think there are 6 teams stronger than us?
I think that's going to be a massive struggle. I would say City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, Everton and Leicester are all probably better than you. So I'd say 8th is probably the best you're going to get this year.
That would be a very, very bad disaster class. So last question, your prediction for the game. Another comfortable victory for City or a struggle? How do you see it this time?
I think we're going to continue on from where we left off on Saturday, and I'm going to go over another 3-0 against Arsenal.
No goals conceded, clean sheet for them, another 3-0 defeat. It's not going to be a good damn thing for Arsenal fans, I can tell you that. And it's the early kickoff as well, so I'm definitely not looking forward to that. Realistically, my mind is telling me we're going to lose maybe 3-1, but I'm hoping for a 2-2 draw. That's what I'm hoping for to do. I don't think we'll win the game. That would be a massive shock. Although the last 2 years we've lost to teams like Leicester at home, you've lost United at home. Last season you lost to Chelsea at home. So we've seen these teams beating you, but I don't think we have that kind of mentality to come to like a City or like a Liverpool to win. So I'm hoping this time we get it done differently. But yeah, that's your match preview for Arsenal against Manchester City match build-up. Make sure to follow Alex. His links will be in the description. Any shout-out you want to give to your own channel?
Yeah, well, I've got the channel, like you said, and then on Twitter, my @ is AlexBirchMTFC. That's it.
Awesome. So this video will come right before his stream for the UEFA Champions League, something we've not been in for a lot of years. So make sure to go to his channel to watch the live stream for that. As of now, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to both channels, and I'll catch up with you guys later.